Right, I think we should be live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I ran into a couple of issues trying to set up the quality of the stream, and I still haven't fixed it, so I'm going to try and do that throughout. So, yeah, welcome. Hopefully, I have been able to get it to 1080p now. Can someone in chat let me know? This is going to be the first watch-along on the channel, and I haven't tested much out, so I'm going to treat this as a bit of a trial run and see and make sure that things are all good to go. But yeah, appreciate all the viewers already here and everyone in chat. We've got Sheffield United taking on Brighton for the first game on this Sunday football day. Both of these teams in need of a win. One win in the last 5 for them both. And actually, Sheffield United are coming off the back of a good victory over Luton last time. So I'm excited for this. Should be quite a good game. I imagine there'll be goals in this. Hopefully anyway. But yeah, welcome to everyone in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've already got so many messages that it's going to be difficult to keep up with them, but I'll try my best. Thanks, Rehan, for letting me know that 1080 works. Appreciate that. And we are 8 minutes away from kickoff. So if you haven't already yet, go grab yourself a drink, snack, get ready for what will hopefully be a very good game of football. If you want to get some comments in chat, I will try my best to answer them, but please do bear in mind that there'll be a lot of you asking comments. Already 74 of you in the chat, and only growing. If you could as well like the stream, that'd be hugely helpful. Appreciate you all taking the time to come and chill with me today. And yeah, so let's have a look at chat. Am I a Brighton fan? I'm not a Brighton fan, and this actually ties into Joy's question. Who do I support? I support Arsenal, so it's going well for us at the moment. Maybe do some Arsenal watch-alongs in the future. But yeah, it's a good title race this year. I think last year it was one of those ones where we weren't expecting to, or at least I wasn't expecting Arsenal to be anywhere near the top. So there was always that bit in the back of my mind that thought City would close us down. But this year it's different. Like, you got Liverpool, you got us, you got City. Villa have come out of nowhere and looked like a good side that could potentially challenge. But I say come out of nowhere, they've always been a decent team. But yeah, how many people would have expected them to be top 4 Champions League qualification? So it's been a good season from them, but I think Liverpool, Arsenal, City, if I'm calling it now, I still think City will win the title. It just seems to be always City, right? But yeah. So yeah, I support Arsenal. Seems to be the comment that I get a lot. And also as well, a lot of people ask me why I support Arsenal. I don't actually live in London. I never have done. I'm actually from Leeds, but the reason I support Arsenal is because of Thierry Henry. And growing up, he was like my idol. So that's pretty much why I support Arsenal still to this day. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How's everyone doing today? Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend. We're back into the new week. I've had a week off school, a week off away from placement, but we're back on Monday. So, yeah. Liverpool win the title. I don't doubt that. Klopp in his final year. Smart from what he's done though, right? Saying that he's going to walk away at the end of the year, because then that'll kind of mean that it's now or never, essentially, for Liverpool. And actually, there's an interesting stat there. I read the other day that in terms of the Premier League's highest point tally, Jurgen Klopp has 3 out of the top 8 and has only won the Premier League once. I mean, we know that City won the title twice over Liverpool by a single point, but that's quite huge to think about, right? That he has 3 of the highest in the top 8 points tally and yet has only won the title once, which is mind-boggling. Really, really is. Am I the next Derek Ray? Nah, I mean, football commentary is something I would really like to get into, but it's just such a difficult kind of world to branch into, especially with my degree. It's usually the people who commentate over football have journalism degrees, and I don't think I'm that great at writing and such. So, which team do I support in La Liga? Never really thought about it, to be honest. I've done like career mode saves with teams like Celta Vigo, Las Palmas, but I suppose I don't really have a La Liga team. If I was to I thought about moving to Spain before. One of the places that I thought about going was Malaga, so maybe I suppose I'd choose them potentially, but yeah, I don't really have one. You don't care who wins the title as long as it's not City. Hate to break it to you, it might well be City again. Yesterday's match against Chelsea. I missed yesterday's game against Chelsea, actually. I was out at my friend's house, so when I left the house, it was 1-0 Chelsea, but I know that City, obviously, Rodri scored 83rd minute, was it, to equalise? So That's what teams do, though, right? You know, title-winning teams, they get the results even if they have to do it late on. Am I from Ireland? No. Some of my family is, but I'm not. So, like, my brother and my sister are part Irish, but I'm not. So, yeah. Am I doing good with uni? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I'm doing all right. But at the moment, I'm just trying to get through kind of the months, if you will, until the end of this year, because it's quite stressful. I've got kind of a lot on, but at the same time, I knew that going into it. So once I get kind of through this next couple of months, get to rest, I'll feel a lot better about things. But yeah. How far can Arsenal make it in the Champions League? Let's not think too far ahead, because Champions League, it's just nice being back in it, you know. I missed it, so it's nice being back in the Champions League. I'm not going to worry about too much where we finish. I'd like to say that we'll beat Porto and then get to the next round. Porto are a tricky team, so they could easily knock us out. Man United's chance of getting into the top 4. United are such a strange side. I mean, look at McTominay, right? For all of the stick that McTominay gets, he's scored some crucial goals this year for United. So, on his day, seems to be that McTominay could be a match winner. And then you watch him play in the very next game if he starts, and he's not that great. I hope that you get to 1 million subs. Thank you. Appreciate it. We are minutes away now from kickoff, and Brighton and Sheffield United are just coming out into the tunnel. As I say, both teams, one winning their last 5, including for Sheffield United, that 3-1 victory over Luton. Speaking of, in their last 5 as well, Brighton have played Luton, lost 4-0 in that game. So, by that logic, Sheffield United should win this game, if that was the way we were going to look at this. I mentioned I'm also a coach. Who do I coach? So, I started as a coach in Sunday League, but now I don't coach a team specifically. I work for a company who coach football, and there isn't like games to play at the end of the week, if that makes sense. I'm not like at a high level yet. I'm hoping one day I can go up my badges. So right now I hold level 2. The next step for me would be UEFA B, which is the first recognised UEFA badge. But to get on that, the waiting list is mad, and it's so long. And usually they prioritise people working in like professional game, and obviously I'm not that at the moment. So yeah, for the moment, I'm just happy coaching the way I'm coaching, learning a lot about it, and kind of, it's an ever-evolving thing. Coaching will always be, like, look at the Premier League now. Look at Pep, look at Klopp. They brought in that pressing style, but then you go back to early 2000s, 4-4-2 was the main thing, and you know, you found success that way. Now, seems like everybody plays that 4-3-3, or as Pep's brought into now the inverted wing-backs, dropping into midfield. So it's going to always evolve, and it's about making sure that as a coach I'm kind of able to learn and also be able to adapt when it comes to that point. Maybe I'll get there one day, but for the moment I'm just enjoying my coaching, and I don't really want it to become a results-driven thing. So in terms of teams, I haven't really focused on like coaching a specific team. So I wish I could show you the lineups. Unfortunately, I aren't able to do that right now. I've just tried to get things ready to go pretty much. So, as I say, this is my tester stream of this. So if anything's missing, do let me know, and I can try and add it for next time. But for the moment, you're going to have me. We're going to have Sheffield United and Brighton, and the teams are out shaking hands, and we look like we're about to get into the 2 squads, and then kickoff is imminent. Do I think Luton will manage to escape relegation? I hope so. I would love to see them back in the Premier League again next year. Kenilworth Road is one of the iconic grounds that, you know, football, traditionally, that's where you want to play. For me, I've always said, like, the big grounds are cool and everything, but there's a certain charm to the smaller grounds. And you look at Bournemouth's, the Vitality Stadium, you look at Kenilworth Road, there's something about playing at those grounds that I imagine would be really, really inspiring. So I hope Luton can survive. I am glad to see them doing well enough to be out of the relegation zone at the moment. I do think, without sounding harsh, Sheffield United will go down. I also think Burnley will go down, and then it becomes who out of the rest of the teams, really. And Luton are in that mix, so we'll see. Thank you for all the kind words, by the way, about the content and all that stuff. I really appreciate all the support, as I say it all the time. Will you ever play Football Manager as a single video, like how the rebuild channels do? Possibly. The thing with Football Manager is it takes a long time to get through the seasons, especially the way I play it. So, I don't know. I think this is a tricky one, right? Brighton inconsistently brilliant. Sheffield United need the result for survival hopes. I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton. 3-1 Brighton. I can't talk too much about the Thiago Motta philosophy. I've heard briefly about it. I can't say too much because I've not really looked into it, but I have heard about it, so it's something I could look into it and get back to you. But for the moment, I don't know too much about it, so yeah. For the next stream, I suggest lineups and scoreboards with a timer. I'll look into it. Appreciate it. Am I going to do Man United Luton? We'll see. If this goes all right, then possibly. I don't really know for sure because I don't know if everything's going to hold up or not. But yeah, we'll see whether or not I stay on live ready for United Luton. Right. Do you also follow non-league? Sometimes. Not massively. But yeah, sometimes. Do you find it difficult managing uni and YouTube at the same time? It is. It is hard. Especially with me coaching as well. And that's kind of the reason why I posted the video about my future, right? Because I would love to do this as a job, but fundamentally, when I qualify as a teacher, something will have to give. And unless YouTube is doing good enough for me to be able to consider it as a job, it possibly will be YouTube. So we'll see. Kickoff is about to happen. It's Brighton kicking us off here as Sheffield United are in their red and white. Brighton in the black and green kits. As we've got... Well, I don't know what the delay is. Also, I might be slightly delayed from the actual, if you are also watching along with me, because I'm watching on an app rather than main TV. So, there you go. Brighton start us off. Long ball forwards, challenge in the air, but should be routine for Sheffield United, and it is. And it does mean they have themselves a goal kick early on. Do you think Xabi Alonso will bring evolution to the Prem in his tactics? I tell you, I'm actually hoping if Xabi Alonso ends up winning the league at Leverkusen, I'm hoping that he doesn't... I mean, he'd be good at Liverpool, but I'm kind of hoping he stays at Leverkusen for another year and just sees what he can do with them, right? I would love him to take down the Bayern kind of era, dynasty, if you will. I'm calling it that. They have lost the title to Dortmund, for example, and such. But it would be nice to see him stay at Leverkusen. If they do win the title this year, see what he can do, keep the core of the team together. Because I'm thinking, again, you look at Leverkusen, you think back to Monaco when they won the French league and how quickly that team kind of got picked apart and players moved. I'm hoping Leverkusen can stay together if he does win it and he stays there. As much as he would be good at Liverpool, I just think he's earned his right at Leverkusen to see what he can do with them. Mbappe to Real Madrid. It's been the story of hang on here because Sheffield United have got a chance. They're in the centre of the pitch here. Out on the left-hand side, there is an overlapping run. They'll cut it back, though. Go to the right. It's picked up here. Shots comes through. Good save. Very good save. Down to his right there. I'm not sure who it was, the Sheffield United player with a shot, but it is actually only a minute in and Sheffield United have started the brighter of the two sides. That ball through into the box now. Touch will go straight through. Goalkeeper will allow it to go for the goal kick. Good start here by Sheffield United, though, and they are in a position where they need... This will be one of those games that they look at and think to themselves, there is points on offer here. As I've said, Brighton are inconsistently brilliant, but at the moment, last 5 have only won that one game. They'll be looking at this and thinking there's a chance for 3 points. And we're just seeing a replay of the shot. Yeah, very good save down to his right there. And chance goes, but it's Sheffield United with a brighter start. Can you take over Ireland? Our team hasn't been great recently. We'll see. If I had the time, I'd love to do lots and lots of videos that all of you lovely people say, but unfortunately, time is strapped, and that means that I have to kind of prioritise stuff, which is one of the reasons why I can't do the Leeds United career mode as much as I would like to do. People troll Harry Kane, but he's performed. He has performed, but I did watch him against Leverkusen and didn't think he was brilliant. I saw part of the game against Lazio. Didn't think he was great there. He missed a good chance, actually, in that game. So, as much as I take the Spurs bias out for a second, being an Arsenal fan, because Kane is English, I would love him to go on and win something at Bayern. But it's an incredible story, really, isn't it? As there's a corner here for Brighton. It's an incredible story, really, that he could well leave Spurs and end up not winning a single trophy after that, which is just got Harry Kane written all over it, really, hasn't it? But yeah. I don't really support either team in this game. I'm not really bothered who wins it. It would be nice to just see goals, ultimately. So I'm not supporting Brighton or Sheffield United, but I think goals would be fun. Brighton corner, and they've got numbers up here from it. There's Matoma in the mixture of 4 Brighton players as they all disperse. Corner goes into the near post. It's away by Sheffield United, cleared further, sent further forward, but it'll be picked up by Brighton's goalkeeper deep in their own half. Bit of a poor corner, really. They aimed to the near post, but no one was really going to get there. Sheffield United deal with it, and Brighton look to rebuild the attack from the back. There is 100 of you at the moment, 110 concurrent viewers. Appreciate it. For a first stream, 88 likes. If you could like it, that would be massively helpful in terms of trying to push this out there. But I appreciate as well that this type of content might not be everyone's cup of tea. So it's nice just to see a lot of you out here chilling with me in chat. I'll try and do my best to keep up with the questions. Long ball forward, Sheffield United on the chase. Dunk will get there and does win the goal kick. So nothing coming of that for Sheffield United. Which city am I from? Now, I've been told about my accent. So I'm from Leeds, but when I started doing YouTube, I kind of changed my voice a little bit. I don't know why, I just did, and it's kind of stuck with me ever since. So I am actually from Leeds, which is Yorkshire, but I don't know, my accent sometimes doesn't sound like I'm from there. I can sound quite Yorkshire sometimes with some of the words I say, but then other times not so much. Kai Havertz, interesting player. When he signed for Arsenal initially, I don't want to say I wasn't best pleased, but I wasn't really thrilled with him signing. But he's done all right since he's come. And there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, especially being the young kid going in at Chelsea and then now at Arsenal, going to a rival. He's a Champions League winner, remember, match winner as well. Scored the only goal when Chelsea won the Champions League. So you got to take that into consideration. But yeah, I hope he'll do well for us. I really do. Can you manage Plymouth Argyle in FC 24? Maybe one day. Might do a video on them. Brighton throw. We are just outside the Sheffield United penalty area. Lamptey's got the ball in his hands. Matoma's on the move. Throws it here, and handball, I think, has just been given against Danny Welbeck. So it's nice to see that the handball rule that I play with in FIFA seems to be happening in real life. Welbeck's just been penalised for handball. Free kick, Sheffield United. Did I watch the AFCON this year? I saw bits. I didn't watch a full game, and I missed the final as well. I saw bits of the group stages, and it's an incredible story that Ivory Coast lost 4-0 in the group stage, finishing third and went on to win the entire thing. That is one of those stories right up there with Leicester and their title win. Sheffield United on the right-hand side. Ball inside to the middle. Quick fire football. Lovely turn on the edge of the penalty area. As it's lost out here, though, Brighton have won it back. And it's back with Sheffield United, though, at the centre of the park. Spread the play out to the left. Brighton are trying their best to make sure there's no way through. But I tell you what, credit where it's due. Sheffield United on the attack do look quite lively. That should be a free kick. It is a free kick. Brighton have a chance here to be able to calm themselves down a little bit. Sheffield United do look lively on the attack. They're moving the ball very quick. So maybe, just maybe, that'll unsettle Brighton. Arsenal are going to win the league. Yes, that's what I like to hear. If they do, honestly, I'll go nuts. I will go nuts. Yeah, I appreciate Neelish about the vlogging content. Hang on a second. Adingra's ball across. Oh, vital touch. It might just go in, though. Oh, wow, it's off the line. Fotheringham managed to get down and push it off the line. Cross came in on the right-hand side from Simon Adingra. Across the face of goal, there was a Sheffield United touch from one of their defenders that took it towards goal, and then Fotheringham had to get down, push it out of his left hand. It actually was very nearly an own goal, and I tell you, the Sheffield United player had to make something on that, because if he didn't, Welbeck was waiting for a tap-in. Adingra back from AFCON, back from winning AFCON, and he's causing problems down the right-hand side for Brighton. Great ball across. Well done to Wes Fotheringham in the goal of Sheffield United. But yeah, back to the vlogging content. I would love to. It's just finding the time. Pretty much most of my days are planned. And chance here for Sheffield United. The ball goes across, but out quickly comes Verbruggen. And is that how you say his name? Verbruggen? Brighton's goalkeeper comes out quickly to make it. There's an injury here to Buonanotte. And it looks like he's in a bit of pain. He might have to go off. We'll see from the replay. Yeah, it's a stamp on his foot. Late challenge. I wouldn't say it's malicious, but those do hurt. So Can understand why he's down. But yeah, the vlogging content, time is really hard. And I would love to like go and explore the world and go to games and things like that. But it's money, it's time. And right now, that's not something I can commit to. I think Leverkusen players will be going after the season. Boniface release clause will get triggered. Grimaldo, maybe Wirtz, Frimpong. That's what I mean. If Leverkusen stay together and they win the league this year and there's no kind of selling of players next year, I think Alonso could do really well with them in the Champions League as well. But there's that bit of Monaco that just, you look back and you think when they won the league and they ended up selling loads of players, then they weren't set up for success the following year. That I think that would maybe want Alonso to go to Liverpool. And let's face it, he's probably looking at the prospect of going to Liverpool, seeing how they're playing this year and thinking there's a real shot in the Premier League for him as well. Ball over the top here. Pascal Gross was on the chase. Can't control and pick out this guy. Fotheringham has it for Sheffield United. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't show you the game due to copyright reasons. So I have to kind of watch it and just tell you what's going on at the same time. And then hopefully paint the picture for you that way. But 10 minutes in, we've seen a lively start from Sheffield United. Brighton have grown into the first 10 minutes quite well. Best chance of the game actually falling the way to Sheffield United in terms of the strike. Matoma's through here, but out quickly comes Wes Fotheringham and launches the ball long. And Brighton have it back. Sheffield United with a shot. Saved down to his right by Brighton's goalkeeper. And then the ball across from Simon Adingra was cut out by a Sheffield United body in the box. Fotheringham had to go down to his right-hand side and push it out of the goal to stop it going across the line. So, chance for both sides, but 10 minutes in, fairly even contest. Can you do takeover videos? I could look to do them, but it's, again, difficult to do them when they take a long time to kind of record. That if the views aren't there, it's kind of, in terms of the videos that I have time to make at this moment, I have to prioritise some of the other things that is more enjoyed by people in terms of my player and whatnot. Girona playing well in La Liga. They're second, but defeated Barca and Atletico. Yeah, I saw Real's 4-0 victory over of them. And Girona, they could end up looking at a few players leaving them as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, Man City don't the owners of City own also Girona? And there's talk that Savio is going to be coming to City. I think Couto's out on loan at Girona. That's a strong challenge, actually, on Mitoma. That's a really strong challenge. And this could be a card here. Referee's showing yellow to Mason Holgate, but it did look very, very high from first initial look. Mitoma's still down as well. We'll see the replay. There's every chance the referee might get called to take a look at this because Holgate did look very high. Yellow card. Evan Ferguson's not on the pitch at the moment. I'm not even sure he's on the bench. Let me find out. Is Ferguson on the bench? He is. So Evan Ferguson's on the bench. Ansu Fati on the bench for Brighton. Could see them coming into the team at some point in the game. VAR are checking this for serious foul play from Mason Holgate on Mitoma. I did say it looked high from initial instinct, and the ref has been called to the monitor. We could well see. I think this might well be a red card. I think this is going to be red for Mason Holgate. He is incredibly out of control here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red card given here to Mason Holgate. Referee's going back to the pitch. VAR... He's put back the yellow and has shown Mason Holgate a straight red for that challenge. And I'll be honest, from my first thought, when I saw it, I thought that could have been a red card. And Sheffield United, who had a bright start to the game, have reduced to 10 after 12 minutes. Mason Holgate's walking back for an early bath. Replays do not show a good challenge, and I think that's the right call. He is incredibly high. Actually looks like he hits Matoma's thigh with his right boot. And then the left leg follows through, and that's what gets the ball, his left leg. But that's not enough for me, and the red card, right decision. Mason Holgate's off. United are down to 10. Brighton with a real chance. Brighton with a real chance in this game now to take full control of it. What are we saying? Do you think it's a red? If you've seen the replay, I don't think... I mean, Wilder isn't even complaining. I think he knows, right? He knows that that's a red. Again, I wish I could show you the minutes. The unfortunate bit is I haven't been able to find a clock that works on stream and also is synced to the game to make sure it's at the right time that I'd be on. So until I figure that out, I'm sorry, I haven't got one. But I will try and make it happen. Free kick Brighton then, following the red card for Mason Holgate. Sent into the middle, flicked on. It's all the way across. And it's cleared away at the back post by Sheffield United, who are going to have to dig deep here and figure out a way to compose themselves and try and just keep Brighton at bay for the next 10, 15 minutes, because I imagine the pressure will be ramped up from the Seagulls here with that red card being given. What do you think about VAR? Has its place, but I'll be honest, I haven't got behind it very well. I think there's too many mistakes for something that was supposed to be brought in for a real change in football. There it's worked good, because I do think it is a red card and it has to get given, and it is given. But there has been occasions where I thought that it's not intervened, or it has intervened and got it wrong. Dingra, ball down the right, looking for Pascal Gross. It's cut out, and Sheffield United have to concede the throw. Oh no, it's come off of Pascal Gross, actually. They'll get themselves a throw. I support Arsenal, for everyone asking. I have already said that, but yeah, I will get that question, I imagine, a lot. But Arsenal, they're my team. They're the team I support. Am I going to stay at Milan in the My Player? That's the plan for next season, at least. Get him in the Champions League, see what we can do, go from there. Fotheringham is down here. He looks like he's in a bit of pain with his ankle. So, it looks like, yeah, Fotheringham. He might go from bad to worse here for Sheffield United. Mason Hall gets red card, and now Wes Fotheringham has just signalled to the bench that he needs some treatment. So it could well be that they're going to have to replace their goalkeeper as well. We've got a bit of a break here, so I can take a look at chat. Can you show live plays like the one in Live Score? I'm not familiar with Live Score, so I can't say yes or no on that. I'm just seeing if I've missed anything in chat. You support Man United? My best friend supports Man United, one of my best friends anyway. And safe to say, he's been up and down this year. As a Barca fan, sadness is in my daily tea. Yeah, Barca, don't know really what's going on there, but I have noticed they've had some slip-ups recently, which is not ideal. Still waiting to see what happens with Fotheringham here, because he is still receiving treatment. It's a break in play for Wilder to have a chat with his players and maybe change how this is going, considering that red card inside the first 15 minutes here, which, up until that point, Sheffield United had looked pretty good. Fotheringham's back on his feet, going through the motions, seeing if he's fit to play. He looks all right. So it seems like Sheffield United are going to be able to keep him on for the moment. Am I doing Man United versus Luton later? I plan to. It'll depend on my internet, plus whether or not everything stays up properly. Thanks, Rory. Appreciate the nice comment. Leeds to win and go up. Yeah. Don't know. Southampton are doing all right, to be fair. It's going to be close between the two of them. Right, we're back into the game, and Brighton have possession. What do you think? One club or business owning multiple clubs and transferring good players to one big team? It's a difficult one because there's pros and cons to it. I was actually thinking about this the other day. If you take City's case, they do take Savio, and they take Couto back and potentially any of the other Girona players. As a cross goes into the box here, it's away, but it's on the edge of the penalty area, volleyed back in. Sheffield United just having to dig deep and try and prevent Brighton here. Dingra's picked up the ball, whips the delivery in. It's a good clearance away. It falls back out here to Simon Adingra on the right-hand side. His cross goes back post, over hits. Does not reach anybody in a Brighton shirt. Be out for a Sheffield United throw. If they take players away from Girona to City, it's going to weaken Girona. So the only way that's going to work, if they want Girona to still be competitive in La Liga, is to then give them other players or spend money bringing in players from clubs that they don't own, or give them players from City, for example, who are not quite ready for City but are ready to get football elsewhere in the hopes to make them quite ready to be part of the City setup. So the pro is they're getting players probably cheaper than they would be paying if they didn't own the club for the quality of player they're going to get, but they're weakening a club that they own, so they're going to have to then fix that. So it's the pro and the con behind it. Do you support Hamburg? No. If I do watch Bundesliga football, I think probably Dortmund are the team that I'm most interested in. But I do like Bundesliga because on a whole, it's a very enjoyable kind of league to watch. I don't really have a preference. But yeah, if I do watch Bundesliga football, 9 times out of 10, it's probably Dortmund that I'm watching or looking at. Love from Jamaica. Appreciate it. Thank you. Also, if you can see, it's winding me up. There is a gap in my blind just there. And it's shining on me and it's doing my head in. I'm going to have to try and sort it at some point. Hey, Jude, what's going on? I did do my player career mode spell at Dortmund. Buonanote's here down the right-hand side. Back towards the edge of the penalty area. Him and Adingra combine. It's with Gross. And now the ball goes all the way out to the left-hand side with Lewis Dunk. Central position over on the left. Finds it now towards Tariq Lamptey. Matoma drops off. Lamptey gets into the penalty area. It's Matoma and Lamptey combining with exchanging of passes, but it's no way through because Sheffield United are sat defensive. Good ball in. Welbeck's glanced header. It goes all the way across. And Buonanotte can't meet it. 2 opportunities for Brighton. First of which came the way of Danny Welbeck. I'm not sure if he got much on the cross. And then his, I'm going to say glancing header. I actually don't know if he does get anything on it. Falls the way of Buonanotte. No, it's missed by Welbeck. Oh, it's a great touch, actually, to take it away from Buonanotte at the back post. I think a goal kick has been given, but it actually should have been a corner. Buonanotte was scrambling there, but Robinson gets a touch on it and takes it out. It is a Brighton corner. Pascal Gross delivers as it's gone deep. There's the header, back post, back into the middle. It's in! Is it in? Has the goal been given? Brighton are celebrating. They're not sure. They're waiting to find out. It is given. Brighton take the lead. Corner from the right-hand side from Pascal Gross. All the way back to the back post. Lewis Dunk heads it back across the face of goal. And I believe it's Veltman who gets the header. And it touches one of the Sheffield United players on the line. And it goes into the roof of the goal. There was a little bit of uncertainty to start with as to whether or not the goal was going to be given. Brighton initially celebrated, then were hesitant to continue to do so, but now do celebrate. And actually, it's not Veltman who's got the final touch. We'll see it better here. Pascal Gross's ball goes in. It's Dunk at the back post. It's Buonanotte. Veltman was there. He did throw himself at it, but it's Buonanotte with a final touch. And it then ends up being scrambled across the line. Brighton lead 20 minutes in. Sheffield United could be in for a very, very tough afternoon here. As I say, Veltman does throw himself at it, but it's actually Buonanotte with, it's Webster as well. It's not even Veltman, it's Webster who throws himself at it. And Buonanotte is the one who gets the final touch. So, 1-0 Brighton. Sheffield United, this could be a thumping for them if they're not careful. Thumping. Try to do a Luton manager rebuild. Possibly. We'll see. I don't think we'll see Ferguson just yet. I think we're going to have to wait a bit longer to see Evan Ferguson come on. It was Sheffield United Dealish. It was Mason Holgate showing a straight red for a foul on Matoma, which initially was given a yellow. And having been checked by VAR, was then shown a red card for it. Can Sheffield United respond immediately? This is brilliant work down the right-hand side. Oh, it's a real chance. He's still got it. Oh, I saw all the way across. What a run. What a run that was. It almost was an immediate response for Sheffield United. A couple of Brighton players threw themselves at it, didn't get there. Don't actually know how that's ended up going out. Unless there's a touch. What a fantastic run, though. Oh, it is. It's a save. Not sure what's been given, but it was a good save in the end from Van Bergen. And it's a corner ball, which he deals with easily. Brighton now have it back. Who scored for Brighton? Buonanotte. At least he was the Brighton player who got the final touch. So, unless it goes down as an own goal, Buonanotte got the goal for them. 111 of you in chat right now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. 140 likes. Again, incredible. Really appreciate that. Here goes Matoma, found by Lamptey in the box. There's a little push. A very little one. Matoma's gone down. Referee immediately waved it and said no to the penalty. Matoma went down a bit easily, but there definitely was a double hand there from the Sheffield United player. And I have seen them being given outside the penalty area for free kicks. So, it's not been given. Welbeck's ball looking for Adingra. Almost finds him. Fotheringham claims it. And I will be interested to see that replay again, because I do think Matoma does go down a little bit easier than he should do. But there was a definite little push there from the Sheffield United defender on him. Not given as a pen, though. Appreciate it, Neelish. Sheffield United trying their hardest to make a game of this, but they have to be so careful because if they do go forwards, being just down to 10 men, Brighton will feed off that. And Matoma has found Welbeck here after he stole it back. And Brighton can play this out either way they want. They could go for that second goal and look to kill the game off, or they could just frustrate Sheffield United, entice them to come out a bit more defensively and try and be a bit braver and then hit them on the counter. But it seems like they're just enjoying the spell of possession now and are happy to hold onto the ball for the moment. Now, I am a little bit behind, chat, so I do think that they have scored a second from what you lovely people are telling me. Adingra's on the right-hand side. He's found Gross. Overlapping is Webster. Adingra is still in the attack, but it goes back for Pascal Gross. Delivers the ball back post. Matoma's going to get there. He has done. It's pushed out by Fotheringham. There's Welbeck, and it is indeed 2-0 Brighton. Danny Welbeck profits. Right place, right time. Ball back post from Pascal Gross. Headed towards goal by Matoma. Pushed out by Fotheringham. It's not a great save, in all honesty, because he pushes it back into an area where Danny Welbeck's waiting. And he smashes the ball into the roof of the net. 2-0 Brighton. And we are 24 minutes in here. Sheffield United have to try and stabilise themselves because this could be a thumping, which they definitely do not want for morale. And we'll see the replay here. Again, it's just Brighton with a whip delivery to that back post. Same situation for the goal. At that back post, it's not dealt with by Sheffield United. And it's resulted in them conceding another. Danny Welbeck is there. It is hard luck for Sheffield United, especially with the red card, but they can also have no complaints. Mason Holgate, it is a definite red. It's one of those moments where you can't turn around and look at it and say, well, I've seen them given, I haven't seen them given, because it is a definite red. So there is that bit of like, it's hard on them for getting the red card, but then at the same time, they only have themselves to blame. So that's the way I look at it anyway. I hope no one's minds the spoiler alerts. Well, I mean, I am a little bit behind, and I did kind of expect that. So I am here to commentate. So if you aren't watching the game and you don't know, and you're not watching chat, you're just watching me, you wouldn't have known it was 2-0 until I said. Can you create your own club and lead them to success? I am looking at potentially doing a create a club at some point in the near future, but I've just not got around to thinking about A, when that's going to be, B, what I want to do with them, and C, how I'm going to format the video, because I might have to do like a season at a time, so we'll see. I don't mind spoilers because I'm just going to try and make sure that I'm not really... well, I'm going to try and make sure I'm not kind of focusing too much on chat as much as possible if there is a chance going. It's just at that time, the chance really came from pretty much nowhere. You're an Everton fan. First thing Chris Wilder's got to do is send Mason Holgate back to the Blues. He's a terrible player. Makes even worse decisions. Very violent on the pitch. Just get shut of him. You know what? I used to think Mason Holgate was very, very... decent defender, but then I know he's interesting actually, because I looked at this the other day and I was wondering where he went to, and I realised it was Sheffield United, and I thought to myself, that's probably a move that he needs to kind of reignite his career. But then seeing him do what he's done here, tough. That's a lovely ball. Matoma down the left hand side. He's got Lamptey to his right. His cross goes towards the penalty spot. It falls here to Adingra, who slices his volley over the bar, and chance goes begging for Brighton. But they are getting so much success down the left-hand side, Brighton, that Matoma must be thinking he's going to have a field day here. I don't know what they need to do, Sheffield United, to sort this, but that right-hand side is looking weak. Very weak. Pick a player for a TikTok edit, and I'll tag you. Does it have to be a current player? All right. Apparently, 3-0 Brighton. Out of curiosity, right? Because my minute is the 27th minute and 13 seconds. If this is actually 3-0, I'm going to reset just to try and get it so it's updated. Brighton is such a strange team, though, in the aspect that 1 minute they can play like this and be so good in front of goal, and then the next, they're so frustrating. Lamptey on the left. There's movement in the box. Lamptey goes to the edge of the penalty area. It's these deliveries from this position which are causing Sheffield United problems. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Brighton end up doing it again. It's Billy Gilmore's ball in, looking for, I think it was Adingra, but it's cut out by Sheffield United, and now it's back with Brighton. Yeah, I don't think it's 3-0. I'm going to update anyway and just see if I can change it so I can get it back to being what it should be. Let me refresh. There we go. I'm refreshed. It is indeed clickbait. There was no goal. Matoma's on the left. Oh, Mitoma! Oh, it's off the line. It's off the line once, twice. Mitoma cuts inside on the left-hand side, sells 2 defenders, leaves them for dust, cuts it across. First shot is off the line, falls the way I think of Welbeck on the second time, and then it's off the line again, but it's Brighton. It's all Brighton. And they could get a third before half an hour. And it's Mitoma, who studied dribbling at university, who made Sheffield United look silly there. There is that problem, though, because Lamptey here is now the furthest player forward on the left-hand side for Brighton, and he's meant to be playing wing-back. Matoma's dropped in, and then that kind of means that the players who want to pick up Mitoma don't know if they want to go with him or not, because then they've got to worry about the run of Lamptey in behind. And this is something that you see so often, and it's something I kind of coach to my players. Runs, as simple as it sounds, runs in football are one of the most important things to learn. Because if you can do an effective run that doesn't lead you getting the ball, it creates so much for your team. And the challenge on Gilmour here, it goes down there to the penalty area, but it's not given as a free kick. They need a way out, Sheffield United. They haven't got it. It's back with Brighton. But yeah, these runs that Brighton are making, especially Lamptey on that left, along with Mitoma, Sheffield United can't decide what to do with them. Gilmour's struggling here. It looks like he's hurt. Sheffield United versus Newcastle flashbacks. Yep. And we could well see it. We could well see it. Oh, Mitoma. They're showing the replay of his little dribble. The way he just cuts the ball and then goes back. And actually, I say it was an effort from Welbeck. It sort of just hits him in the chest. And that's it. It doesn't really do anything else. Sheffield United are having a bad day here. They've just been forced into a change. Austin Trusty is on. Osuda has had to go off, I'm assuming through injury. So they've now lost one player to a red card, and I've had to substitute another before half an hour. We're up to 149 likes now. Appreciate it. Thank you very much to all of you. Bundesliga's got a crisis going on. They're throwing chocolate and coins in pitch to protest. Why? What's going on in the Bundesliga at the moment? So Lamptey's hugging the touchline. Nobody's with him right now for Sheffield United because they can't really go over to sort of man mark him. Matoma's just on the inside of him. The ball is on the right-hand side for Brighton, though, but there is opportunity to switch here. Webster does look to find Pascal Gross, centre of the park. It's Pascal Gross finding a dinger a right-hand side. He cuts once, twice, goes back. Now the whip delivery near post, headed away. If it's not Mitoma, it's a Dingra causing the problems for Brighton. Lamptey's been all right so far in this opening half an hour. He's been decent. To be honest, I wouldn't really say, as much as Brighton are controlling the game, I wouldn't really say there's been a standout performer. Pascal Gross with delivery. There's Welbeck's header. His header forces Fotheringham into the save. It's another cross. And what's interesting about this is they're mixing up the crosses, Brighton. It's not just like they're going from the wide area in terms of being on the edge of the penalty area. That one there from Pascal Gross is on the right-hand side, but it comes from a more central position. It was similar to that they got the second goal with. So it's tough for Sheffield United because it is crosses that are causing them problems, but it's not like it's a specific type. It's not like it's from the wide area where it's gone to the byline or on the edge of the penalty area. Some of them are coming from a central position and they're not finding a way of dealing with it. So it's tough. It is tough. And I would be shocked. That's a lovely touch. I would be shocked if they are able to get into the halftime whistle at just 2-0. They've got the ball here and have a time and a moment to kind of breathe, but nothing more, I don't think. And yeah, as I say, I don't think there's been a standout performer yet for Brighton in terms of this first half because everyone's playing quite well. It is that left-hand side, though, at the moment. If you are picking one of the standout players, it's either Mitoma or it's Lamptey because it's there that they are finding that success. And here is Mitoma again into the middle for Danny Welbeck. Sorts out his feet to find the ball here towards Billy Gilmour. Now it's out wide with Lamptey. He can't go 1v1, so he just lays the ball back the way of Lewis Dunk. Matoma's now rejoining the fray, but it's into the middle. It's now out for the right-hand side. It's Pascal Gross to deliver one of those crosses again. Looking for Matoma. Headed away, and Sheffield United do pick it up, but it's lost on the edge of the penalty area. Fortunately for them, though, it has fallen back to one of their players and does not lead for Brighton finding a third. Could I add 1 or 2 mods to the stream? I do have some mods at the moment, but I because it's one of my first streams for a very long time, I just have to sort of manage it myself, which is kind of what I'm trying to do at the same time. 5-0, you're calling it now? Every chance, every chance. Lamptey to Matoma. Matoma's ball deep. Adingra's at the back post. Sheffield United deal with the first core across, but it will be a throw now. And it's once more that left-hand side. We are 34 minutes into this game, or at least I am at the moment. 34 minutes in. Rayo Vallecano 1, Real Madrid 1. I do know about that game. It was a penalty for Vallecano, wasn't it? That they equalised through after they had the lead through Hostelou, Real Madrid. Yeah, so some of you are a little bit ahead of me, but I'm 34 minutes and 12 seconds at the moment. Still 98 of you in chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Pascal Gross trying to look for one of those crosses. He does deliver. It's whipped. It's there for Lamptey, but it'll fall for Matoma, who's over near the corner flag. Jayden Bogle over with Matoma, trying to size him up as Matoma looks to go 1v1. Matoma did beat him in this position last time, and he looks to do the same thing again. He has done the same thing again, but his delivery is pretty poor by his standards, and it's dealt with as it's won back by Lewis Dunk. It's just literally Brighton camped in the Sheffield United half here. Welbeck can't flick the ball on. It's won back by Buonanotte, and every time Sheffield United have this ball back, Brighton swarm, win it back, and go straight back on the attack. The Bundesliga wants to rival the Premier League. In terms of enjoyment and watching, I mean, it's football at the end of the day, and that, I guess, is what you want to see. You want to watch football, so I don't see why they can't. Ultimately, though, in terms of the Premier League, you look at the viewing figures, the numbers, the money that goes into it. I mean, I like watching the Bundesliga. Like I say, it's a league that has a lot of competitiveness. Lamptey, shots, blocked. Dunk takes over. Neelish, I've heard this before, man, about people saying it's madness to watch a commentary rather than watch the game live. And I hear it, you know? It's like that age-old thing of like, why would you watch someone play a game? Why not just play the game yourself? I have, in the past, watched commentators or listened to a radio because I don't have, or I didn't have access to watching the channel, but I can see it. I can see it. Would I take Matoma over Martinelli? No. As good as Matoma is, Martinelli's story and what he's done at Arsenal has been inspiring, and I really like him. So, I mean, I'd take Matoma at Arsenal alongside having Martinelli, but I wouldn't swap Matoma for him. Tell you what, volleyball is actually... I actually do like a lot of sports. Maybe not watching them. I prefer to play. So, like, things like badminton, table tennis, volleyball, rugby to an extent. I haven't played rugby in years, but I did used to watch a lot of rugby when I was a kid. Rugby league. Used to go to games for Leeds Rhinos, but I kind of, I don't know, just stopped being as interested in it. And then football kind of took over. But yeah, there is a lot of sports out there that are really enjoyable to play, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'd like to watch them, if that makes sense. We are 8 minutes away from half-time, and I don't want to say this too loudly, but Sheffield United will probably be just thinking, can we make it to full-time? If they get a goal, that does change it. But from the balance of this first half, and the way that Brighton have been, it just looks like it's going to be Brighton who add to the score, if anything. So they're probably just wishing for the full-time whistle. Thank you, KJ Vianney. Hopefully I've said your name right. Appreciate the support. Did I watch the Cricket World Cup? No. My dad did. I didn't. So I kind of knew what was going on because my dad would tell me, but I didn't watch it personally. Right, Brighton are in that position again. Everybody in Sheffield United's half, apart from their goalkeeper, everybody in a Sheffield United shirt back behind the ball, as you'd probably expect when you got 10 men. It's now with Webster. He goes out wide. It's Pascal Gross, whose deliveries have been causing problems. Inside to Gilmour. Gilmour to Matoma, edge of the penalty area. Welbeck's making a move. Matoma tries to find him. It falls for Buonanotte. Can't shoot. Now it's with Welbeck in the area. Lamptey, left-hand side of the penalty box. And it's now hooked away as far as Webster. Oh, Sheffield United have been able to get on this, but it'll mean, for this to work, they're going to have to try and work this almost flawlessly. And it, unfortunately for them, wasn't worked flawlessly. Slight mistake on the touch. And the ball goes astray. It was a chance in like a 2v4, essentially, for them. Nothing really more. I'm working on a gaming channel. Do you think I should keep uploading if I'm not getting the views? I'll probably make a video about this at some point, showing you some of my older videos. But I had 2 channels before making this one where Adingra's cross, actually, away by Bogle. Webster gets to it first. It's Adingra again. That's a brilliant touch. Adingra! Oh, it deserved a goal for the little touch that he does before it. But he smashes the ball goalwards and it hits the side netting, or glances the side netting on its way through of the near post and goes out for a goal kick. Before I started this channel, I actually had 2 channels where I uploaded videos for myself and whilst I was at school. And they didn't really get views. But I think across those 2 channels, I uploaded like maybe just over 100 videos. So yeah, like, don't get kind of caught up in, I have to get this amount of views for this. Every video you make, you get better and you learn something from it. Like, if I look back at my editing now and look back at the speed at which I can make a video now and my skills at making them as Adingra's pounced on this loose ball. Hang on a second. Adingra, 2 Sheffield United players on him and they do manage to close him out and win it back. If I look back, you know, I've learned a lot in my years doing YouTube videos and almost wouldn't be here without the steps I had to take before that. You know, I used to use Windows Movie Maker to edit my videos. That just kind of shows you. And I remember the day that I couldn't do that anymore. I had to relearn how to edit using Adobe Premiere Pro. That's a nice interchange between Welbeck and Matoma. But Sheffield United stand firm. So yeah, don't kind of get disheartened. To do it because you enjoy it. YouTube is a world now which is such a saturated market. It's so hard to be able to kind of start now. If I was to try and start anything now, I mean, I don't think I'd be anywhere near as kind of 100,000 subs as I would be having started when I did. So just kind of enjoy it, essentially. Welbeck with a glanced header, loops over the bar, goal kick Sheffield United. So enjoy the video making process, explore streaming, explore different avenues, and hopefully one day the views will come and you'll start to see reward for it. Do I watch cricket? Sometimes. I don't mind T20s because the games are a little bit quicker. I can't do one-day internationals. T20's all right. But yeah, I wouldn't sit there for a whole day and watch it. Thando, I appreciate it. Thank you. I do know how badly England performed in this World Cup. My dad was very quick to tell me. So, just to make it even more confusing for you, Neelish, there is 2 teams in Sheffield. You have Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are, I want to say, League One. They could be Championship, actually, and I've made myself look very foolish. And Sheffield United are in the Premier League. They came up from the Championship last season, are likely to go back down to the Championship this season. So there are seasons where both Sheffield clubs are in the same league. It has happened. So yeah, Sheffield United as a whole, I wouldn't say they're a bad side, and you know, they're very much a decent Championship team and on the cusp of Premier League if they can kind of get to that point where they survive and can get the right players in. But ultimately, they're always bouncing up and down. Like Norwich. Norwich are very, very similar. As SDG said, Norwich are what we call a yo-yo club. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. But I wouldn't say that Sheffield United are a yo-yo team. They've had spells in the Premier League. They've had spells in the Championship. But they're also not like one of the teams that if they go up, you can safely say, I think they'll survive, because they do. They are struggling again this year. But I wouldn't class them as a yo-yo team quite to the extent that you would look at the likes of Norwich. And I tell you what, real chance here. Corner's gone in. Back post. Sheffield United chance. Headed back across. It's in. Oh, hang on a second. Because the referee is asking a question about something, but it says a goal has been given. And out of nowhere, Osborne has pulled one back for Sheffield United. The referee, though... Oh, hang on a moment. Wilder looks so confused. It was a Sheffield United corner, sent towards the back post, headed back across, very similar to that Brighton had been causing the problems. Oh, hang on a minute. Osborne swivels, volleys home. Are they checking for offside? Or are they saying it is offside? Oh, wait, might be for handball. Sousa, it hits him on the arm. Well, it looks like it's been ruled out here. Buonanotte knows nothing about it. Unfortunately for Sheffield United, a lifeline. VAR are checking this for a disallowed goal for a foul, it says. Is it a foul on the goalkeeper? Surely not. All right, they're checking for handball on Sousa. It hits him on the arm. Refs go into the screen. I think this might get given. So there is a multitude of things there. The goalkeeper they've checked. I don't think it's a foul. The ball goes back across. It hits Sousa on the arm, but his arm's sort of not really out there, and it sort of hits him on the shoulder rather than his actual arm. And then it hits Buonanotte, and it's the question of whether or not once it hits Buonanotte, well, offside is the other thing now, because Osborne, when he swivels, is in an offside position when the ball hits Sousa on the arm. So I think, because of that, it'll get disallowed for offside. It's Sousa's arm, and Osborne, when it hits him on the arm, is stood offside. If it had come from the ball back in, once the cross had gone in to the back post, he was onside at that point. Welbeck was playing Osborne on. But because it's hit Sousa on the arm here, then goes to Buonanotte. I don't know, actually. It does touch Buonanotte last. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get given. I think it's offside. Right, he's moving away from the monitor. Oh, you're saying in chat that it wasn't given? I don't think it would be. It looks offside because when it hits Sousa on the arm, Osborne is offside. 7 minutes of stoppage time. Incredible. Yeah. Not given. Unfortunate for Sheffield United. It would have been a way back, and it would have been an interesting half-time team talk for Wilder, and it would have made it for a very interesting second half. We're seeing the replay. So initially, when the back post header comes back in, actually, no, Welbeck doesn't play him onside. He is just fully offside, Osborne. So yeah, right decision. I thought initially Welbeck had played him on, but no. Hi, Ryan. Good to see you. 170 likes are on now, 30 away from 200. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time. If you could like it, that'd be really helpful. Did you hear the news about Mbappe? If we're talking about him going to Real, yes, I did. I'm just going to have a drink of my coffee as well. You can't beat a bit of coffee, right? Yeah, so Neelish, there's this game. And then after this, we have Luton Man United. What do I think about making videos on Football Manager? I have done them in the past. Traditionally, they've not done that well on the channel, but the last time I did them, they would have been probably a couple of years ago now when I had like 60, 70,000 subscribers. So maybe they'd do better now. Maybe they would. I don't know. But it is something I'm looking at, especially if I start streaming. I would be looking at the potential to do Football Manager as a possible game. But yeah, Mbappe to Real has been around for years, and looks like it's finally going to happen. Pascal Gross with a tentative delivery into the box, like he's liked to do all half. He's got it again. He goes for another. This one goes deeper to Lamptey, and Bogle has won the aerial duel against him. Launches it long, throwing Brighton. So initially, Una, from what I understand, and I'm going to try and say this. The cross goes in. Once the header comes back in, Osborne's already offside anyway. But that's not the touch that matters, because once the ball hits Sousa on his arm, that's then the touch that means that's the one we're looking at. Because once it then goes to Buonanotte, you can't be offside from a touch from an opposition player. So because he was then stood offside from Sousa, that's where they take that offside from. And because he was offside then, regardless of the touch off Buonanotte, it's offside. At least that's the way I'm thinking it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But that's what I think has happened, basically. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway, essentially, because he was offside once the header was won. How long have I been an Arsenal fan for? As long as I can remember. I remember watching the FA Cup final against Man United, I want to say 2004-05. So that's probably my earliest memory, which would make me 7, 8 at the time. So pretty much since then. Brighton have themselves a corner. And there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on in this penalty area. The referee might have to stop it here to have a few words, which it looks like he is going to do. Brighton look for a third goal from this set piece, and we have seen that Sheffield United have been a bit susceptible from the previous corners. Ref's calling over 2 players here to have a little chat. Breaking play. Appreciate it, Michael. Thank you for clearing that up. All right, corner delivered in. There is a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Oh, the header goes goal bounce. And a mixture of Fotheringham and I believe maybe the crossbar denies Lewis Dunk and Brighton a third goal. Good header from Dunk. He lost his man and was able to win it. Yeah, Fotheringham, good save. Very, very good save. Had to make sure. It looks like it's hitting the crossbar, but he had to make sure. And he's had a good half, actually. Considering he's conceded 2, Fotheringham, made a few very good saves. Otherwise, this could have been better for Brighton. And it may still be better. Throwing deep in Sheffield United's half. Yeah, no, Neelish. I am actually 26. Getting old now. Nearly 30. I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20, which is a mind-blowing thing to say. That will be a yellow card, looks like here, for Tariq Lamptey, as he's taken out a Sheffield United player when they were trying to break. So it is a yellow given to Brighton's fullback. And Lamptey has to now be careful. Still 83 of you in chat. Thank you very much for chilling. Did you know if you create a character outside a career, create them, make them 99 rated, make them a free agent? I do. You can have a 99 rated player, but then that kind of spoils the fun a little bit for me at least. My time at the moment is 51 minutes. That's a lovely touch by Matoma. Oh, what a touch. Matoma just picked that out of the sky and made it look easy. Sheffield United are unhappy here. They think there's a foul from Matoma. Play continues. They have it on the right-hand side, United. Cuts back. Bogle's delivery goes deep. It will be picked up at the back post. A chance here before the break for Sheffield United to make the second half interesting. And if they could do that, well, we might just have a game on our hands. It falls here for Osborne. Osborne's cross. Easily dealt with. Easily dealt with. They've still got it, though. Sheffield United, credit to them. They're still looking to try and cause a problem. Yeah, I am going to look to create a club in the near future. Just finding the time to do it. We are 52 minutes in, and there's a challenge here from a Brighton player, Tariq Lamptey. Good tackle. Don't know if Sheffield United were trying to claim for a penalty there, but it's a great challenge by Lamptey. Never was going to be a penalty, but it is a corner. And you saw from the last one, they caused problems. So this could be... Oh, they've gone short from this one. Now they will deliver. It's a poor set piece. Which I'm sure if you're a Sheffield United fan will frustrate you even further, given the circumstances that you just were in a position where you could look to cause them problems, sending something in the box, you go short, and then it goes across the floor and ends up mounting to nothing. Those are the moments, right? Especially when you're playing with 10 men where you've got to make use of the set pieces. You have to be better with them. Vinny Sousa and Buonanotte in a heated exchange. Now Vinny Sousa actually in a heated exchange with Danny Welbeck. So he wants to have a go at a few players here, it seems. Dunk better be playing ahead of Maguire in the Euros. I think we know the answer to that. All right, we are now into 53 minutes. So we are over the 7 minutes we should have had added on here. And it looks like we're going into the break. 2-0 Brighton. There's a long throw going to be sent into the box here, but I don't think there's too much from this. Judging by what chat is saying, the long throw does go in. Headed once, twice, 3 times by Brighton. And tentative shot comes in, blocked by Buonanotte. And there is half-time. The break, Brighton 2, Sheffield United 0. 10 men of Sheffield United have tried their very best to stay resilient and make sure that there was no way through, but Brighton have caused problems with deliveries into the box. Outside on the wide areas, they have found a lot of success, especially down that left-hand side. And you imagine second half, it's probably going to be very much of the same story. Brighton pretty much sat in Sheffield United's half and adding to the score. But yeah, the break, 2-0. So that does give me a bit of time to be able to talk about chat. Rishab, I appreciate the suggestion, but I would also appreciate not spamming in chat. So yeah, but yeah, I am going to try and get stats window and things of that nature. Yeah, if you could stop spamming, that would be great. I don't want to have to put it into like slow mode. What are my thoughts on Klopp leaving as manager? Shocked. I was not expecting it. Especially the fact that I said at the start of the stream that he has had 3 of the highest top 8 points finishes in the Premier League and only won 1 Premier League title. That I almost feel like if he only wins 1 and then still does leave, that is harsh and he deserves more. So yes, Una, correct decision. When the challenge came through, I immediately thought, that's dangerous. And so it was initially given yellow by the ref, went over to the board, had a look, came back, straight red. So Mason Holgate was given an early bath, and Sheffield United have suffered since. Haven't been able to really get too much going in the way of an attack. But when you're down to 10 men, it's difficult, especially against this Brighton side who have looked very good from deliveries. Yeah, but why would I want to have a load of 99 rated Donald Trumps running around my pitch? That just sounds not fun at all. I don't think I'd be able to become manager of Liverpool, unfortunately. I'm not qualified enough and I don't know half as much as what Jurgen Klopp does. So unless you want Liverpool to be playing conference football in 5 years' time, I'm not the man for the job. What do I think Luton and Man United will finish? I said 3-1 Brighton here. I think that'll be 2-0 Man United. Do you like being a manager? Well, I don't actually. I'm not a manager. I'm a coach at the moment. But yeah, I love coaching. Coaching's one of the more enjoyable jobs, and I'm very blessed to call it a job that I've had. So, and don't get me wrong, it is at times very frustrating. But that's the beauty of it. Seeing players, seeing people who otherwise maybe didn't think that they would ever kick a ball very well at all, being able to do things that way beyond that they do. And without sounding harsh as well, I don't actually do that much to help them. It's more just giving them the platform for them to perform on, right? So, within reason, everyone has it within themselves to get better at anything. All it takes is practice. Coaching helps, obviously, because I give them what they need and help them be able to get there quicker. But within an extent, you could go outside and kick a ball on your own against a wall and get better at football. So it's just about putting the time in. Thanks, Lucifer. I appreciate that you think I could be a great manager. Maybe one day. Maybe you'll see me on TV or something at some point in the future, managing a club. Or maybe I'll be a commentator. Or maybe I'll just be doing YouTube as a job and content creation. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? By the way, we've been live, which is crazy, for an hour and 15 minutes. Time has flown by. Flown by. No, in English. So basically, I was a coach before I went on my university course, and I realised very quickly I liked the idea of coaching and teaching, not even necessarily children, but that I work with children at the moment when I coach. So I kind of thought, how can I do this as a job, essentially? And at the time, YouTube wasn't something I could consider as a job. And at the moment, I still can't really consider it as a job until I really branch out and try things in terms of new content. But without kind of looking at academies and going into professional football, which is a world which has its pros, but very much has its cons as well, like academy football and the professional game, the world itself of that world can be very, very not nice. So without being able to get into there, and at the moment I'm not qualified to do that, I just simply wouldn't be able to find the time as a coach to earn enough money to call it a job. So my next point was to look at how I could do that, and that's where teaching came around. So at the moment, my degree is in teaching. So I teach primary school, all the subjects, and I still coach. But once I finish my degree, I can look at what I do then from there, essentially. Luton will batter United. I mean, imagine Luton beating United. All right, let me have a quick look, actually, and see what is happening with Real Madrid. Because I've just been told, it's 1-1. Ooh, Carvajal's been shown a red as well. The Bellingham effect, clearly. He is injured, so he's not able to play. And that's the reason why, at the moment, Real Madrid struggling. This is where you need him to pop up with a winner. So I coach, I don't coach one specific age group. I coach across the ages of 4 to 14. So I coach literally players, people of all ages. And in fact, I've also done up to 18s before. So pretty much 4 to 18. So it's very much youth football that I coach. I've not really had any exposure into kind of under 23s and beyond and men's football or like adult football, because I could technically also coach women's football as well in terms of what my qualification would allow me to do. But at the moment, I'm very much involved in youth football at this moment in time. You need to start commentating, not coaching football. Maybe one day I'll be able to do both. I've already spoke about Xabi Alonso, but I will say it again. I hope that if he wins the league with Leverkusen, he stays in Germany for another year. Leverkusen don't sell players like Monaco did after winning the league title in France, and he can have a go in the championship with Leverkusen and try and retain the title to stop Bayern's kind of dynasty and them getting it straight back. That would be really cool to see, as much as I would like to see him at Liverpool as well. Part of me is hoping that if Klopp doesn't win the title with Liverpool, he turns around at the end of the season and says, actually, you know what? I've now got the energy. I'll carry on for another year. That's what I'm hoping. But that's not to say that I don't think Xabi Alonso would do a good job at Liverpool, because I do think he would. Who's your favourite German... Apparently talking is hard. Who's your favourite German football team? I don't have a standout favourite. I've said that if I was to watch the Bundesliga, it would be Dortmund. They'd be the one that I'd kind of always go to. But I don't have a supporting club. I do like watching the Bundesliga football as a whole. I think Arsenal will beat Porto, but then I think we might get knocked out in the next round. And I will be not drawn in. I'm surprised it's taken this long to get that question. I'll be not drawn into the whole Messi-Ronaldo debate. I appreciate them both for what they are. They're both incredible footballers, incredible athletes. And I think over time, you probably change and you go from one to the other unless you really know that you're sure about one or the other. Yeah, Shish, I also agree. The Bundesliga, it's nice. Obviously, this is the big thing, and this is what I say whenever I see teams sat behind the ball. I fully appreciate it, and this is one of the reasons as a coach I like doing what I do now rather than having to be worried about results. Because, unfortunately, when you get into this kind of world here where, you've got two teams going against each other, you have to worry about results. So if you recognise that you're not a stronger team, you go and sit behind the ball, defend a bit more, and try and really kind of soak up pressure and maybe look for the odd occasion to go forwards. But as a football fan, you want to see goals. You want to see exciting players. You want to see players who are willing to take players on. And that's the way I kind of coach now is no matter who you are, I like my players being brave. I like them being positive. I want them to get that ball, look to take players on. If not, yeah, well, look, how can we play forwards? Not can we defend? Can we sit behind the ball? Do all this? Because it's whether we want to see goals. And that, for me, is what the Bundesliga brings you. Goals. It's why I enjoy watching it, although you do get the occasional kind of 0-0, 1-0. But on the whole, yeah, Bundesliga is enjoyable because of goals. And that's kind of my philosophy, I suppose, as a coach, which is sure to change based on the world and the area that I coach in and the circumstance at the time. Because as I say, if I was, unfortunately I'm not, in a position where results would determine my job, you'd have to consider how you set up a team in terms of sitting behind a ball, being defensive. But I don't have to worry about that at the moment, so I don't. Any tips for FC24 players like me who have been playing for 6 years but still on amateur? Bump it up every now and again. Just bump it up, try it, and then go from there, essentially. Just keep going and keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. I had a question. Do you have a favourite American football team? Oh, soccer. Okay. I was going to say, I do actually watch American football every now and again. I am very much an amateur with American football, though. But I used to like the Miami Dolphins when it was NFL. In terms of the MLS or soccer, I don't know. It's changed a couple of times. Like I used to like New York Red Bulls because Henry went there. I suppose now I'm a little bit more not really bothered about it too much. LA Galaxy are all right to an extent. Yeah, I don't really have a preference. At what age would you start swearing at kids in football? Never. Never. There is not a world where that is okay. And anybody who does that need a serious think about what they do in terms of their role as a coach and as an educator. If that's happening, find out why and seriously think about what you are doing. In fact, if it's happening, they shouldn't be there in the first place. It just shouldn't happen. Fortunately, and obviously, you know, I work in this now where I've experienced being a player when I was younger and having coaches, not me personally, but seeing coaches who possibly weren't in it for the right reasons. In terms of England and in terms of at least my experience now with more coaches kind of making them have to have certain coaching badges, it has got far better in terms of the coaches are in there for the right reasons. They want to see players, they want to see kids enjoying football, and they want to help them. I'm sure you still get the fools, let's say, who are, you know, involved who do things like that, but if they are, they shouldn't be, pretty much. Right, we are hopefully going to get back into kickoff. I'm very quickly just going to run out of my room, get a quick drink, and I'll be back. So I'm going to run a quick ad, hopefully, and then I'll be back in just literally maximum 1 minute. Be right back. And we're back. At least, hopefully. All right. If I was the coach of the English national team, what would my starting 11 be? Leave it with me because I plan on doing some watch-alongs in the Euros and I might do a video talking about that. But I think ultimately if I'm picking 3 players that have to start, Foden, Bellingham, probably Saka, and that's the Arsenal bias. They're 3 that I would look at. Kane, I guess, has to start as well. But yeah, Foden has to be in there for me. Bellingham, of course, and then Saka, Kane, probably as well. But yeah. No matter what age I'm coaching, I mean, I don't really swear that much anyway, but I just wouldn't, to be honest. It's not good practice, especially even if you're... It's like when I watch these, coach videos where you see coaches swearing in adult football. I just don't really think there's a need for it. You can be passionate and you can do a team talk without it. You don't need to do it. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Second half underway. Let's see what happens. Moving into the second half, Igor has come on for Brighton. And that is a change they have made. I think I'm trying to work out who it is who's gone off. Potentially Webster. Might have been Webster. 202 likes. Thank you all very much for liking the stream. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's really cool the fact that you've chosen to hang out with me on Sunday. Poch in or Poch out? They can't sack Poch now. If they sack Poch now, that's hilarious. I think Chelsea have got themselves into a position where they're stuck now. They can't. They sack Poch now. What are they going to do? What was the opinion of the AFCON and Asian Cup? I didn't really see the Asian Cup. I saw a little bit of AFCON. It was good. Like, it was nice to see it getting a lot of, airtime. And as a football fan, I just like watching football anyway. But I didn't actually get to catch that many games due to life just being busy and everything. But yeah, I was glad it got the airtime. Here is a Dingra. He's cut inside. Goal kick. Looked initially like he was going to get passed into a position to be able to find a cutback, but then it just bounced back off and went out for a goal kick. I'm still trying to figure out... Right, teams are on the screen, so let's try and figure out very quickly. Well, I say that. It's not actually doing anything. Did Ivory Coast deserve the AFCON? Listen, they won the final. They finished third in the group and lost one of the group stage games 4-0, but they won the final. So if they deserved it, you have to win the final. They did that. People actually support Sheffield United? I do. I know a few people who support Sheffield United. You probably won't be having a great time right now. I think that Webster has gone off. Igor's come on, which means... Has Lamptey gone to the right-hand side? Or is he still playing out on the left? Yeah, looks like Lamptey... Has Lamptey gone off? Hang on. Right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, Lamptey's gone off as well. So Jacob Moder's on, and Igor is on. Igor for Webster, Moder for Lamptey. So they're the changes made at halftime by Brighton. Don't know if there's an injury to Webster because he wasn't booked or anything. Lamptey was on a yellow, so that could be just to make sure he doesn't get himself a red. So Igor looks like he's playing left, and I imagine Moder's gone into midfield, and Brighton have gone from having that back three to a back two, or a back four essentially, with Igor and Moder on the right hand side. Do I think Luton will get relegated this season? There's a chance. I think Burnley and Sheffield United will be down, but I don't know who's going to be the final team with them. You're watching one of my videos right now? Thank you. Appreciate it. Hacker Boy, thank you for being here. Thank you for the kind words as well. Yeah, I don't know why I said... I can't say his name. It's one of the... I know he is as well. Moder. Just trying to say it. Tired, that's what it is. Who's going to win out of Luton or Man United? Man United, 2-0. I don't use OneFootball. Welcome, Football Tonight. Welcome to the stream. Anyone who's new, who's not yet liked the stream, appreciate if you could. That would be a huge help. Imagine a world where Bellingham and Mbappe go to Arsenal. I have. It's called Football Manager. And I probably still wouldn't win the league with them. Here's I go for Brighton. Again, we're seeing them camped in Sheffield United's half. Ball goes forwards. Little touch off to Billy Gilmore. Now out wide for Matoma. Works his way into the penalty area. Cuts on the right foot. Looks to place it. And Ben won. But it's blocked. And there is one Sheffield United player forward here. Of which the ball is one back. And he sort of just turns around. Looks to the side and says, what am I meant to do? On his own. On his own. At the beginning of the season, you had high hopes for Sheffield United. It was always going to be a tough season for them. I can't remember the exact stat, but they were discussing it the other day, talking about the newly promoted sides to the Premier League and how they struggle so much to be able to stay up. It's so hard. It's so hard. Because you look at the teams around them, right? I mean, if we look at the Premier League table now, you consider Palace are 16th, a side who have been in the Premier League for a number of years, and yet they're not guaranteed safety. Brentford, who had a fantastic return to the Premier League and had an impressive season under Thomas Frank, but again, they're now 14th, not guaranteed safety. So the sides that you're kind of fighting with to stay in the Premier League are sides who have been in there for a couple of years, who have sort of got that stability and already got the foundations to be able to fight a survival charge. And then you come into it as a newly promoted side, having to try and fight against them. It's difficult. What's the like target? I haven't really set one. I just wanted to do a bit of a tester stream here, see how it went, first and foremost, and then go from there. Nice ball here from Matoma, looking for Welbeck. It's dealt with well by Sheffield United, but Bogle's got to be careful here. He's under pressure by Danny Welbeck, and Welbeck has been able to make sure there's no ball forward. Not sure what's been given. To throw in Sheffield United. United in 5 years, with the right changes being made by the new board and with the right additions and players leaving, I don't see why they can't challenge for a title. The problem is, will that happen? Will that happen? Brighton have just kind of got into this mode now where they keep hold of the ball, but they're not really penetrating too much past the Sheffield United defence. So I think they're kind of biding the time and just waiting for their moment, which they can afford to do at 2-0, but it does make it a very boring kind of remainder of the game if that's going to be the case. Fotheringham has looked for a very quick kick out here. It will be dealt with by Brighton easily enough, and they have it back. Do I support Arsenal? I do. Shout out to those of you, by the way, who have been here since the start of the stream. If that's you, incredible. We've been jumping between like 70 and 100 and something views, so appreciate it. Gilmore's switch of play. Finds Matoma, chests it down, 1v1 against Bogle. We've seen this a few times now. And Bogle's been beaten on those occasions. Matoma, instead of taking him on, no, opts to pass the ball. It might be a shot here. Ball into the feet of Adingra. Lovely turn by Adingra, but he can't get the shot away cleanly. He looks lively, Adingra. The ball into his feet. It's a delightful little turn. Little drag back. And then he tries to sort of wrap his left foot around it and curl it into the far corner, but too close to Fotheringham. And that's probably been Brighton's best moment of the second half. Am I going to keep doing watch-alongs? Yeah, hopefully. Try and do them where I can. Try and make sure that they're as entertaining as they can be. And in many ways, because I'm not used to kind of streaming and not used to this, I haven't really set up everything that I wanted to set up. You know, it might be that I do get the ability to add a timer and add the score, scorers, and add the lineups and such. And I've just realised I haven't even updated the score. I'm having a bit of a stinker here, aren't I? Let me just sort this out. Because I did mean to actually update the score. It should be 2-0 Brighton. There we go. Boom. It's taken me 54 minutes. Can you tell this is the first time I've ever done this? I am on the 54th minute and 30 seconds. No, I highly doubt Sheffield United will get anything from this game, Hacker Boy. We saw a couple of good moments from them. One of them when they had 11 players on the pitch, which was early doors, and they forced a save. But then after that, the goal that was disallowed, that was the only other moment. Since then, it's been all Brighton. Who's the most hated Premier League team and why is it United, Chelsea? Oh, I don't know. If I had to give you my most hated team, it would be Man United. But I think that's because my best friends are Man United fans. So growing up, I got a lot of stick from them. And also, just traditionally, you know, over the years, Man United, decent side, but have frustrated me to no end. So they would be my most disliked team. I'd say even more than Spurs. As an Arsenal fan, that's a big statement. But I suppose I don't live in London, so I don't have to kind of deal with all that kind of stuff. Buonanotte's just been booked here for a challenge. Yeah. Is it a booking? I don't know. Haven't really seen it. It didn't look like there was a lot of force. He does go quite high, but it doesn't seem like there's much force behind that. Why are Arsenal so good against small teams? I'd like to say they are, but we actually lost to West Ham earlier on in the season. So the win against them was certainly something when we beat them 6-0. And then one of my other best friends is a West Ham fan as well, so that was quite fun for me. Adingra here. Good tackle. Very good tackle. It will be a corner, though, for Brighton. Who's the best? Oh, my favourite Arsenal player right now? Good question. Good question. I think I've always been a fan of Saliba. Very, very calm at the back. Does a very good job for us. But I think it has to be Bukayo Saka. Fotheringham today, I'd say he's probably be a 6, 7 maybe. He's conceded 2, but he has made a couple of good saves and stopped it being better for Brighton. They have got a corner here, which is sent in. Dunk was rising. So way as far as Gilmore, edge of the penalty area, sends his shot in. It's blocked. It will be picked up by Adingra, who can now take it forwards. Runs past one. Now gives it back. And Brighton calm themselves back down, but complete possession once more from them. Buonanotte switch of play to Matoma. Matoma 1v1 against Bogle again. We've seen this a few times. His ball goes in, but it doesn't find anybody in Brighton shirts. But it is another corner. Do you know Tsar FC? I do not, unfortunately. And I don't play pro clubs either. We need to see you reacting to Gordon Ramsay one day. I could do reactions at some point. It's hard because with the reactions, it's finding the right video and it's also making sure that they're enjoyable to watch. I don't know. I've just realised I've also got coffee and I've still got it. Barely even drank any of it. Pascal, that ball is not on the white line. It's been allowed anyway. He takes the corner into the middle. Fotheringham claims. Good catch. Very good catch. And he looks to go quickly. The ball is there. Sheffield United on the chase. Real opportunity this. It's behind though. And the chance goes begging. It's the right boy. Tell you what. It's the right idea from Fotheringham. Because ultimately, that's what they need to do. They need to try and isolate a 1v1, a 1v2 opportunity and hope that it goes their way. The ball is launched forward, but they just can't make it work. So unfortunate. Brighton back on the ball and back to then attacking. I'm not cheering any team on. I just want to see goals. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Yeah, the pass from Fotheringham. Good. Oh, chance. Moda's effort. It's blocked. And it's wide for a corner. We're seeing a replay of that Fotheringham kick. It's a very, very good one, actually. Really causes problems because, again, then it means that the Brighton keeper's not sure if he should come or go. And then it's good defending by Moder, actually, to get back. And then backed up by Gilmour. Between the two of them, Moder and Gilmour managed to deal with it. What app am I watching it on? I have the Sky Sports channels. So that is currently what I'm watching it on. Hey, Axhawk, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Corner ball whipped into that near post. Away. And easily away. It falls for Gross. Found by Moder. Moder and Gross. Goes to Gilmour, actually. Gilmour looks for Adingra. The run is made. Adingra tries to pull it back first time. All the way to the edge of the penalty area. Nicked here by Vinny Souza. As Dunk has it back, though. Brighton are really trying to find this third. But Sheffield United sort of not really willing to try and close them down all too much until they get into a position where they have to do so. And when they do get it back, there is that matter of urgency to try and get it forward, which is really positive from them. They're not waiting on the ball. They are trying to get it. Matoma's done well here, left-hand side. Oh, deflected. Fotheringham near post stops it. Corner ball, Brighton. Matoma has had Bogle on toast this entire time. And here he is again. Beaten Bogle. Goes round him. Tries to square it back. He's blocked behind after the deflection from the defender by Fotheringham for a corner. But Matoma is having Bogle on toast. When's the new episode of Player Career Mode coming out? It will be some point this week. I'm back on placement tomorrow. So my day, I'm literally Monday to Friday strapped for time. So it's finding the time to be able to record it, edit and get it out. So yeah, I'll try and get one out this week as early as possible. Opinion on the blue card. I mean, when it happens, I'll give my opinion because it's like anything, right? VAR, I thought was going to be good when I heard it kind of announced before it was implemented. And then after it's been implemented, it's not been that great. So my opinion changed. So until I see something in action, I can't really say. Hi, JK. Thanks for tuning in. 230 likes now. Appreciate it. If you could like it and you haven't already, that would be a big help. We uploaded another episode of the Leeds career yesterday. But I don't know if there'll be another season of it. Game seems to have just kind of like died down a bit now. Brighton can't find this third goal. Sheffield United haven't really ventured too much forward apart from the couple of runners they've got going forward when they send a long ball. So it's just sort of at that stage of the game where it's kind of just a calm stage. Brighton will win 4-0. What's your prediction? I said 3-1 at the start before the red card. 4-0 is a good shout. I'm going to go 3-0. I think they'll get another goal, but I don't think they'll get too much more. What is the bench of Sheffield United looking like? They've got McBurney, Brewster. Do you just like... If you're Chris Wilder, do you throw on Brewster and McBurney as a 2 and just send those long balls forward and hope? That could be the answer, right? When it gets later on in the game, throw them on, hope for the long ball alley and try and do it that way. See you later, Lucifer. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chilling with me. Who do I think will win the Premier League? City. Again. Liverpool and Arsenal are going to make it tough. It's like last year. I wasn't expecting... Welbeck could be in here, Fotheringham claims. I wasn't expecting Arsenal to run City the way they did, but to be honest, I always had that feeling that City would just come back and win it anyway. If you're enjoying the live stream here, then there's every chance that you might enjoy them over on Twitch. If you want to follow my Twitch channel, then feel free. The link is in the description below. I am going to be going live on Twitch, playing games and whatnot at some point in the near future. as another avenue to try and help myself grow and turn this into a potential job in the future. So if you do want to follow me on Twitch and you don't already have a Twitch account, it is free to set up and you can go from there. The first Twitch live stream will hopefully be in a few weeks' time once I work out all the stuff I need setting up for it. So if you enjoyed this stream, maybe you'll enjoy those ones as well. Yeah, City did drop points against Chelsea. But it's just City. They're just relentless. And I do think Liverpool will slip up. Arsenal will slip up. So there'll be a time when City will come back and just be the relentless side that they are and continue to do what they do. I mean, yesterday I thought potentially they might end up losing that game. The later it was getting on, but then you saw Rodri pop up with a goal, and there you go. Buonanotte here, trying to get away from one challenge. Matoma, can he keep Bogle on toast? Which he has had for most of this game. This season, though, does remind me a lot, right? When Leicester won the league back in 2016, you had teams. I know we've got Chelsea and United not quite in the top four, but still fighting for it. When you had teams that weren't necessarily teams you'd expect to kind of, I won't even say struggle, but certainly teams you expected to be nailed on for top four or top six, who had a rough season. And take nothing away from Leicester, they were brilliant to win that league title. But that season was one of those where if anybody else was going to win it, that was the season because teams were having those poor results. There wasn't one guaranteed side who looked like, okay, they are the one that's kind of like your City, for example. That's why for a large majority of it, Arsenal will look back at that and think that was a real shot for them to win the league. Leicester took advantage of that. They won the league title. It was brilliant from them. Incredible to see. But since then, have we really had a season where it's been a case of all the teams have been struggling? Because it's felt like we've had at least one or two teams who have dominated and looked very good, and then the rest of the teams have kind of struggled, right? That's what it's felt like anyway. Who do I think will make top four? Villa or Tottenham? Matoma's volley back across. That could have gone anywhere. Cross from the right-hand side. Matoma sends it back across goal. And it's cleared away by Sheffield United out for a corner, but it could have so easily gone in their own goal. It's that cross from the wide area again. I have a bit of a frustration with Matoma at the moment. And I'll tell you why. And that frustration is that I'm just watching the replay to make sure that he hasn't actually tried to go for goal. He hasn't. It looks like he is trying to square the ball. He's playing a bit too selfless at the moment for me. He keeps beating players down this left-hand side or getting in the positions, and then he looks to square it. I'm just thinking, you've earned the chance. Go for it, mate. Like there, for example. How on earth did Ferguson just win that header without any real challenge? He's facing away from goal, Evan Ferguson. Fortunately, it's straight at Fotheringham. Otherwise, either side of him, that's 3-0 Brighton. But yeah, I'm just wishing Matoma would maybe go for goal. He's tried to square that again. Wrap your foot around it. See if you can finish. Mason Holgate is currently man of the match on OneFootball. Shock. He played what? 14 minutes, got a red card. Yeah, Evan Ferguson came on for Buonanotte, but I think at this moment in time, if you're Evan Ferguson, you're thinking, there's a real opportunity for me to get a goal here. My only thing, that's nice by Matoma into the feet of Welbeck. Ferguson makes a little move. Welbeck will play it across here to Adingra. Short with the pass back, and it's meant that Sheffield United got it back. That's a speculative effort by Gilmour, way over the crossbar. You'll be looking at this as Evan Ferguson and thinking there is goals, but the only thing I will say is that in this second half, Brighton haven't been able to carve the chances from those crosses half as easy as they were in the first half. They still had chances, but they were far better with those balls into the box in the first half than they have been at the start of the second. The fall off for Leicester, yeah, I mean, a lot happened for them, right? You know, it wasn't really just one thing that caused that. It was a multitude of things, and then obviously the incident with the helicopter and things like that didn't help them. But I think Leicester as a whole, they themselves would probably have said that back in 2016, for them to win the league, that was a dream come true. And were they ever really a top four side? There's arguments for and against it, but I personally would say no. So I think they were always punching above their weight and overachieving, and it was only a matter of time before it kind of caught up to them and it all became too much. I mean, they had some very good players, but in terms of a football club, were they ready for that step up? I don't think so, and I think that's what maybe bit them a little bit. But yeah, I do think they'll come back to the Premier League, and if I'm being completely honest, I think they will break the chain. I think they will be one of the sides to stay up next season, unlike the newly promoted sides. That's a brilliant turn by Ferguson, but he can't get away from two Sheffield United players as he looked to carve open the chance with a shot. Do you watch La Liga? Not really. It's not as readily available here where I live at the moment. Yeah, it is training ground practice for Brighton, basically. It is literally just them knocking the ball around now and just waiting for their moment. Sheffield United are waiting, hoping. Matoma's tried a Trivela there and completely got it wrong. They're waiting and hoping that something bounces their way, but it's just not going to happen for them unless they find something drastic that changes this. What's my favourite FIFA? Probably 11 or 12, I'd say. 11 or 12 is probably my favourite. They were both really good games, and they were the kind of ones where I really got into the FIFA kind of games. Hi, Nora. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. I look like your coach. Final 20 minutes. And it looks like the game is all but done here. Now, unfortunately, I won't have time to be able to do Luton Manchester United today as well as part of the watch-along. But as a first watch-along, being able to make sure the stream was okay, the quality, and make sure it actually stayed on. Because my worry was that I was going to drop off at some point and my internet might go. So as a tester stream, I want to thank you all for being here and chilling with me. I'll get some stuff sorted so that the next streams can be upgraded, I guess, in terms of that. In terms of stats, lineups and such. But yeah, my camera is not going to last to be able to do the other game as well. So there's that. Of course, Irish Snapbox. You can watch any of my videos. You don't have to be here. I appreciate anyone who's taken the time to be here today. But yeah, feel free. Jump into any of the other videos. 17 was best. Yeah, 17 was good as well. But I think 11 and 12 purely because that was like the ones where I kind of started. Which has the best soundtrack? What was the... There are a couple of good songs. Sorry. There are a couple of good songs across them all. But I'm trying to think of the year. I'm a big kind of Bastille fan, so whenever Bastille are in it, I do kind of like those years. However, I have actually not played with sound on the last 6 FIFAs. I don't have music turned on because obviously the videos, I won't be able to have it on there. So I honestly couldn't tell you any of the songs from the last 6 years. It's just popping up now with the Man United starting 11. I wonder if Højlund is going to be able to get yet another goal for Manchester United. All right. Final 18 minutes. I said 3-1 at the start of the day. Once the red card happened, and I was asked again, I said 3-0. Got 18 minutes to make that prediction the truth. And if Evan Ferguson has anything to do, he looks like he wants to. It's a front four of Brighton right now with Matoma, Adingra, Ferguson and Welbeck all kind of causing the issues. Behind them, we've got a midfield two of Gilmour, Pascal Gross. Actually, looks like a midfield three, actually, of Gilmour, Gross and Moda. And then the back three of Igor, Dunk. And I'm not sure who else. But it does look like a front four from Brighton. So they really want to go ahead and score again. It's a tough one because it's a very good question, Ashish. Do I want to go and say that Sheffield United should go for damage control or try and cause problems? The situation they find themselves in right now in terms of their relegation fight, goal difference could play a part. Do I think that Brighton are susceptible from a long ball? There's every chance. So if it was me, I've already said this, I would possibly go with bringing on Brewster and McBurney and throwing them both up top and just trying to play long balls to them. That would be what I'd try to do. But I don't think they should really venture too far out. I think protecting now this 2-0 and trying to make sure the goal difference is somewhat okay would be a smart idea. What is the goal difference actually saying for them in terms of the next one? So they're on minus 30. Oh, actually, there is a goal here, it looks like. I've just missed it because I wasn't looking. It's an own goal. Oh, it's 3-0 Brighton. 3-0 Brighton. There's the prediction. I will get back to the goal difference in a moment, actually, because I have just checked it and that's changed my mind. Wilder is stood there on the sideline. He's like this. You can't believe it. He cannot believe it. Is it Matoma's cross in that causes the issue? Igor has it. Lays it out wide to Matoma. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Left-footed cross in. And, yep, own goal. Sheffield United gets from bad to worse. Back to what I was going to say. About the... There is... Charlie, yeah, sorry. There is a delay. Because I'm on 75 minutes. And there naturally is just a delay on the stream. So, you guys are probably a little bit ahead of me. In terms of the goal difference, it would have been an idea, but I've just checked, and Sheffield United have minus 38. Everton are on minus 6, Luton minus 12, Palace minus 16, Forest minus 12. So goal difference really is not something that they could probably play for, I don't think. So at this point, what have you got to lose? Right? What have you got to lose? They've just gone to the crowd. Sheffield United fan in tears. People are now leaving the ground here at Bramall Lane. And it looks like it is all but done for Sheffield United and Premier League life. I'm saying that now. There is still, of course, 13 games to go. Ansu Fati is on for Matoma. The Barcelona loanee is on for 15 minutes. Let's see what he can do in those 15 minutes. Matoma was causing Bogle no end of problems, so I'm sure Bogle will be happy to see the fact Matoma has now gone off. Will he be happy, though, because it's now going to be Ansu Fati running at him. And Matoma's taken his spot on the bench. Looks absolutely knackered, but he's put in a good shift here for Brighton, and he's caused this Sheffield United defence havoc. So, well played to him. Yeah, I need to update the scoreline. You are right. Thank you very much for letting me know. So let's sort that out. It is now indeed 3-0. Bro's in his own box, finishing like prime CR7. It's an incredible finish, it is. Unfortunately, it's the wrong goal. Ansu Fati goal today. Ansu Fati goal. I put out a tweet, actually, when he joined Brighton. I was shocked because I thought he would be a really good signing for them. But then, I don't know how much football he has actually played at Brighton. I haven't really heard too much about him. Been told there's a goal by Adingra. Well, here's Ansu Fati on the left for Brighton. He's cut inside on his right foot. Now finds Igor. Are we about to see a fourth goal? Because you're telling me there is a fourth goal. Hey, Safawan. Welcome to the stream. Ball out wide from Dunk. Ball goes into Adingra. It is 4-0 Brighton. The inside of his right boots as he sweeps the ball home. Sheffield United 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 4 is the score here from Bramall Lane. Those fans who are leaving with 15 minutes to go and they started walking out will be somewhat thankful they have in the aspect they've missed that. But at the same time, supporting your team, right? I know it's difficult to watch. And it's difficult to be able to stay there with the last 10 minutes. But you paid all that money. Why would you go home now? Why would you go home now? You've paid that money to go. That's my mindset. That's my mentality. But what a finish by Adingra. It's just a ball into the box. Not picked up. Swept home. Lovely, lovely, lovely finish from the AFCON champion, Simon Adingra. Really, really nicely done. Well, there goes my 3-0 prediction. So I'm out. I'm not going to get that now. We're 7 likes away from 250 likes. If you could like it, that would be incredible. Appreciate you all being here. Is there time for even more? The Sheffield United players look dejected. They look beaten. They look done. Brewster's just come on. So there's one of the 2 substitutions that I thought might happen. And what's the other substitution? In fact, it looks like they're making a treble change here, Sheffield United. I might well be on track with my suggestion of McBurney and Brewster. I'm not sure who it is. No, it is not. It is Brewster, Norwood, and Tom Davies who's come on for Sheffield United. Is that Tom Davies? Former Everton man? He's got a very interesting haircut, though. Say that. Where's Brighton going to finish? I'm going to say 8th. Favourite World Cup that I watched? 2018 was probably my favourite because it was the first one that I had the time to watch most of the games, and I did watch most of the games. 22 was good because England did all right, did quite well, but it was in Qatar, so I didn't watch as many games and didn't really have the chance to. Yeah, I'd say 2018 because that was the first one that I kind of had the opportunity to watch as many games as I wanted to. The other ones I was in school for and didn't get the chance to. Welbeck's flicked on header here, finds Adingra. There is still so much work to be done, though, because he's so far away from goal. But Brighton look lively. They know that they can smell blood in the water here of Sheffield United, who don't look to be putting too much of a fight up. Moda's ball in, goes all the way across, and Adingra can't keep it in at the back post. Out for a goal kick. Ansu Fati being the next Messi. I mean, he's still young. Like, he's still got a lot of time to grow and become a top player. So, yeah. Change for Brighton. Welbeck is coming off. And I believe we are seeing Estupinian coming on in his place. So, it looks like Ferguson will be the lone striker. Estupinian is going to come on, probably play left wing back. Allow Brighton to return to that back three and have Moda, I keep doing that. Moda out on the right and Estupinian on the left. Might as well update the scoreline to 10-0 and save some energy. It's not going to be 10-0. It's not going to be. Time for me is 81 minutes. So we've got 9 to play here. Yeah, 2018, England made the semi-finals. It was my work's Christmas party with my coaching. So obviously a bunch of coaches. There was like 16 of us all watching the game inside a pub was certainly one thing. It's weird because now I'm a coach. I look at games slightly differently. But yeah, it was certainly incredible. But when Harry Kane missed that penalty, I've got to say that it wasn't fun. But yeah, reaching the semi-finals, brilliant. And then from there, I suppose, Messi crowning it with the World Cup. I think that final will probably go down as one of the best in history. The France-Argentina World Cup final was incredible. What happened? Sheffield United capitulated. Brighton have taken advantage of it. They're panning the camera to the crowd. And it's safe to say there's not one smiling face in the ground, at least in that bit. And the stadium is empty and fast. 2026, the World Cup's coming home. Mate, I hope so. I hope so. And I'd love to be in a position where I'm doing this as a job and I can kind of either commentate over the games or do something like this, because that would be so cool to watch it and be able to experience England winning a World Cup whilst also covering it as well. That would be incredible. I reckon Euro is going to be fun. Oh, dunk. Tries the ball to Adingra. Almost gets it right. Just runs away from him. We are 1 like away from 250 likes on the stream. So, 1 like. Appreciate if we could do that. That would be amazing. And then, when I leave you, I hope you all enjoy the Man United Luton game while I go and sort some bits and bobs out that I need to do. Am I going to do Watchalong for the 2024 Euros? That's the plan. Might not do all the games. It'll most likely just be the England ones, but certainly that's the plan. To be able to do it for the England ones. Sheffield United come forward here for Brewster. Lost out. Brighton have it back, but all of a sudden, I think there's a little bit of, well, we've nothing to lose now from Sheffield United because there seems to be a lot more players in the attack than they've had for the last 80 minutes of this game. Brewster's ball in. Away it goes into the crowd, and it will be a Sheffield United throw. Igor clears. We're getting a bit more brave now, the home side. When are the Euros? End of this season. So not too long, actually. Long throw. Looks like it could be the one here. It is indeed the one. It's sent into the box. It's Dunk with the header. Back out here to the left-hand side. Picked back up by Robinson. Sent in. Chance. Oh, it's wide. That is the closest they've come since the disallowed goal and the early chance. Ball in from the left-hand side from Robinson, and then it is a real opportunity. It's a real chance. Would have only been a consolation, of course, but it's headed wide with the goal gaping. Goal gaping. Unfortunately, War Games, Matoma's come off, so he won't be able to grab you another goal. He has come off, and Ansu Fati is on in his place. Here is Ansu Fati, combining well. Lovely 1-2 with Pascal Gross. It falls to Adingra. Adingra, back to Gross. Gross to Fati. Fati shoots, blocked. Adingra picks it up. Does well, deflected all the way across. Oh, it's disaster. Disaster for Sheffield United. Adingra, it's a deflected ball that just loops over everyone. If you're a Sheffield United fan, look away. There's bad defending, and then there's this. Wilder's pondering. He knows. I think he knows just how bad this is getting for them. That is really bad. They have multiple times here to cut this ball out, Sheffield United, and they don't. And then when Adingra plays it back to Gross, it's a lovely little touch. Fati goes for the shot. He's taken out, actually. But there's two players trying to block the cross from Adingra. And then even after that goes through, there's two Sheffield United players who watch it go past them. Wow. That is... I mean, Ferguson, he'll be livid because he had a tap in and he missed the ball. Unless he actually left it. That could have been what he was trying to do. But 5-0. 5-0 Brighton. And we're straight from kickoff. Estupinian could make it worse. Oh, it should have been 6. It should have been 6. This should stay as a video on the channel after. It should go be under the live section of the channel. So if you do want to watch this back, then feel free to do so. I need to update the score. I've just realised it is now 5-0, not 4. So let's sort that out. For a first watch along, I can't complain. We've seen goals. And that's what we wanted to see. Estupinian's pullback. Hooked away. Final 3 minutes of this one. Sheffield United waiting for the full-time whistle. And they'll just be wanting to see this one out. 250 likes. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. What's the Euro B prediction? Let me have a look. Let me see what the Euros groups are looking like. So, the group stages. All right, interesting. Let's have a little look at this. Group A, Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. Straight off the bat, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to go and say Germany, Switzerland. That's a hard one, actually, because there is... Scotland could do it. Hungary could do it. Group B, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. Tough one. I think you have to go Spain and Italy, but Croatia certainly in there as well, and don't count Albania out. Goals conceded after 25 Premier League games, by the way. 23-24, Sheffield United is the worst in Premier League history with 65 conceded in 25 games. Leeds United's 21-22 season was 56. So all the things point to Sheffield United being relegated. So, yeah. I don't really know what to say about them. There isn't really too much of a positive you could say about this game for them. 258 likes. Appreciate it. Anyway, back to the Euros. As I say, don't count Albania out. I'm going to go Spain and Italy, but Croatia and Albania could do it as well. Group C, Denmark, Serbia, England, Slovenia. I have a lot of love for Denmark, for Norway, for Finland, for Iceland. So I'm going to say England, Denmark would be the two that I want to see get through. But I usually think Serbia, Slovenia, between them, they're all good sides. Group D, Netherlands, Austria, France, and a playoff winner from A. Tough one is that. France, Netherlands. Group E, Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, winner of playoff B. I actually will say I think it's going to be Belgium and possibly playoff winner from B. Group F, Turkey, Portugal, Czech Republic, and group winner of C or the playoff. We'll go Portugal, Turkey. So, complete guess. Straight off the top of my head from seeing the groups, that's what I'm saying. Love to see Denmark get through. Would love to see Albania be in the knockout rounds. That'd be cool to see as well. Scotland would be cool to see in there. So yeah, some interesting ones. It would be more fun if it was end-to-end. Yeah, and you know what? I actually think, Ashish, had the red card have not happened, potentially would have been, because the start in the first 15 minutes, it was a chance apiece. So, you know, it could have so easily have been. Will I do a watch-along of Man United Luton? I would love to, but unfortunately, I won't be able to. I've got a couple of things that I need to go and do, and this was very much just a test stream. Is there a game tomorrow night? Let me have a look. Monday night game. Because if there is, might come back tomorrow night. There is. Everton Palace. You know what? Tomorrow night, after I come back from work, Everton Palace, 8 o'clock. We'll do a watch-along for that game as well. So if you fancy being here, 8 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be here for Everton against Crystal Palace. At least, that's the plan. Yeah. Greetings from Norway. Great stream. Keep doing more. Thank you, Tom. Who's going to win the Euros? Come on. England, obviously. Don't underestimate Croatia. Yeah, I know. Who's winning Ballon d'Or 2045? Messi. I think, you know what? He's got a strong shout. Got a very strong shout. There was that time that he won the World Cup in 2022. That's got to be considered. Yellow for Billy Gilmore. Yeah, it's a silly challenge to make. Thank you, Neelish. I appreciate the support. Arsenal Newcastle watch along. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more watch-alongs. It might not be every game at the moment due to the fact that I do have placement still going on, but as soon as that gets done and I get a bit more time, hopefully I'll be alive for most of the games. Ball over the top. Adingra's here. Ball goes in, looking for Ferguson, goes all the way through. Ansu Fati can't reach it, falls to Estupinian. Tries to go 1v1. Bogle's done enough, but it is a corner, I think, for Brighton. Yep. Corner ball, indeed. 5 minutes of added time. It's not the worst loss. I remember our team of first years losing 11-0 4 years ago in our unit, and I was playing. Listen, I've been on the end of some bad losses, so I know how it feels. When I used to play, anyway. I've been on the end of a bad loss when I coached as well, so I know how it feels to be the coach in that situation. Estupinian's cross in, glanced away. It'll be picked up by Ferguson. Gilmore's long ball back out to the left. Estupinian will get to this first. He's gone down and he's rolling around as if he's really hurt, and then he's got straight back up, and that's what I don't like. Because he's just gone down, rolled around like he has really taken a hit there to his foot, and then within seconds bounced back up and he's pressing the ball. I hate when players do that. Tom Davies fight. Is it when, he looks for the ball? Yeah. I mean, who's told him, right? And listen, I don't have the best haircut, but who's told him that that's a nice haircut? Who said to him? Which one of his friends have gone, you know what, Tom? That suits you, mate. Whoever it is. Wow. And it's not even the haircut. It's the fact I'm used to seeing him with longer hair, and now he's gone to that. Keeper's been brought up for the corner. Has he? Imagine. Fotheringham header. 93rd minute. No, he's not in the box. I've just checked. But could you imagine if he was? That would have been amazing. Yeah, Verbruggen has been given a yellow as well for the Tom Davies incident. Don't worry if you are late. I will be live again. This is... To be honest, I wasn't actually planning on going live today. I woke up, I was out yesterday at my friend's house till like 1 a.m. this morning, so I wasn't planning on going live, but then I woke up and thought, you know what, I fancy doing a test run, a trial stream, and I appreciate all of you who have been here with me throughout. Really, really do. We've had 262 likes. It's been fun. Answered a lot of questions in chat. Seen 5 goals from Brighton. And Sheffield United, well, what I will say is this. I'm sure that next season will be better for them. Whether or not that's in the Championship or in the Premier League is yet to be seen. But I don't think it'll be in the Prem. Has anyone ever told you look like Stephen Tries? They have. Like, no joke. I have actually been told I look like Stephen Tries. I went to a party once when I was younger. Probably about 4 years ago. I want to say 4 years ago. Not really sure. Like when Stephen Tries was first kind of like coming onto the scene and whatnot. And I had a few people tell me there that I look like Stephen Tries. So yeah, it has been said before. I mean, listen, Stephen Tries, funny guy, outstanding bloke. Some people think he's handsome, so it's a compliment. I'll take it. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you taking the time today to watch. Do you think the Kane curse is real? We're seeing it at Bayern at the moment. I'd like to say no, but it's looking likely he's not going to win anything. So, final few seconds here, and that is going to do us. Sheffield United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 5. One win in their last 5 for both of these teams. Sheffield United came off the back of a good win against Luton 3-1, but they couldn't replicate that result here today. The red card from Mason Holgate inside the first 15 minutes, a serious talking point. If that doesn't happen, maybe, just maybe, Sheffield United are able to get something out of the game. They started strongly, forcing an early save from Verbruggen, but then after that, it wasn't to be. And Brighton took full control and just kept going throughout, scoring 5. Deliveries from wide areas caused them problems. Adingra was brilliant. Matoma was fantastic when he was on the pitch as well. Lamptey was good. Pascal Gross was phenomenal with those crosses into the box, but Brighton take a 5-0 win. And for them, they're inconsistently brilliant. Let's see if they can put a run together where they're consistently brilliant. Next up, it's Luton against Manchester United. And for now, that is where I'll leave you today. But we're back here tomorrow, hopefully, for the game of Palace, who take on Everton away at Goodison Park at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be live right here on this channel, hopefully, fingers crossed, provided that I can get everything set up after I finish work. So until then, stay safe, have a great day. Thank you for taking the time to tune in on the stream. We had 120 views at one point, which is amazing, 265 likes. Thank you all so much for being here. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all for another video midweek, unless I see you tomorrow for the stream. Until then, adios!